We're here with 17U head coach of Mokan, Link Academy head coach, Coach Rodney Perry. How you doing today, Coach?
Doing great, doing great. Thanks for having me.
Man, you guys just finished first session. Talk with us about how you felt like the group did and how you guys feeling getting closer to Peach Jam.
Well, feeling pretty good. Just finished first practice of the day, today. We're hoping that, Sky kind of buckled his knee a little bit, so we're hoping that end up not being too serious overall. But the guys are making progress. We're just really trying to build on what our foundation we laid in the spring, so that way we'll have a great July with it.
You've been one of the key components in Mokan's success, not just this year, but previous years. Some of your guys, they didn't get a chance to play in Peach Jam last year. So how are you, a guy that's been there, coached there, won there, how are you trying to prepare these guys for that moment?
Well, really just using my experience to where, those guys, they don't know, because, playing at the Peach Jam at 15U is nothing like playing at 17U. And so really, just letting them lean on me and trust me, and that I'm going to prepare them the way that they need to be prepared to go there and have a lot of success.
This Peach Jam is different than most. This is a longer stay. How is it going to be getting those guys locked in and actually being able to be motivated for every game, because it is such a long stretch?
Well, like I tell those guys, it's going to be almost like going to the NBA bubble that the guys went through in the NBA last season. To where the teams that can stay, locked in from day to day, staying disciplined, making sure they're being hydrated, make sure they're staying up and making sure they're staying up with their sleep patterns and things like that, and staying in a routine, really. And obviously you got to have depth, because when you're at a place for that long, too, there's certain guys going to have to step up and play big for you in certain games, as well. So, we're just going to use all the experience that we, have had in the past to be able to build on that, to make sure for the future for these guys that they understand what it's going to take.
What's the identity of this basketball team? Something that you guys can really put your hat on?
Well, we always try to make sure that every year we're doing the same thing. We have a little bit of a reputation for our offensive sets that we run, but really, the thing that I feel like is kind of underrated for our program overall is, what we do on the defensive end. Because you got to be able to guard people, and I always feel like defense going to win championships, anyway. And the 2 years that we won, the championship, we had the top defense as well as the top offense. So, defense is still the main thing. And this team right here is no different, either, because of the way we have guarded all spring. We do have a really, really good defensive team, and so that's the part we're looking forward to, being able to go out there and show everyone we can really guard people.
You mentioned the spring. It was some highs and it was some lows with that. Talk with us about how you guys have been able to come ahead with that and move forward from that time.
Yeah, the spring actually taught us quite a bit, because I just studied all our spring games that we played, and was able to really hone in on what do we really need to do to get better. And some of those areas was the fact of defensively guarding the ball, where we need to be elite at, for the Peach Jam is guarding the ball one-on-one, because the game is more one-on-one at the Peach Jam. Help side defense, understanding rotations, that's where we also have to be elite at, and then offensively, that was one of the things that really hurt us in the spring, was we didn't play as well offensively as what we're going to play in July. And so now we was able to add a little bit more shooting, to moving Bryson, up to our 17s. So that's going to help there, and giving really Sky a sidekick to run with in the backcourt, too, and take some of the pressure, off of him. But and then also adding Rob Martin, who also can come in and be able to, run a team and be a great distributor, and then also guarding on the defensive end too, because he's a pest when it comes to the defensive side of things, too. So we feel really good about the pieces that we add, and we feel really good about the pieces that we already had, and just building on what we started in the spring.
Spoke to two guys, Terrence Reed and Aiden Shaw, who will both be joining you at Link. Talk with us about what drew Coach Perry to Link, and how you feel about year one there.
Well, the thing that drew me to Link, first of all, was the fact of the opportunity to be able to help guys go to where they want to go to. Because one of the things that I've been able to do is be able to teach guys, the things that they needed to learn to be able to go to the next levels. And so that was one of the things that kind of drew me there, as well as, you know, the atmosphere that's at Link, and then the people that are at Link, you know, also, because it's phenomenal people, you know, there too. And then obviously the facilities and everything there, and then being able to run your own program, you know, too. We've been able to impact a lot of, you know, players' lives with our Mokan, you know, organization, and now knowing that we can do it on a year-round basis, that really excited me, you know, about it too. And then you mentioned the two great guys, the two great additions that we have with, you know, Terrence Reed and Aiden Shaw, you know, knowing that those guys have certain goals that they want to accomplish, you know, as well. And I know that I can help them by my 17 years of college coaching experience, be able to help make sure that they're prepared for college when they step on a college campus in year number one, that they're going to be ready to go in there and produce right from the start.
Finally, Coach, you're one of the best coaches at managing talent. Talk with us about how you're able to do that and make sure that everybody feels inclusive and a part of what you're doing.
Well, that's the thing. That is a tall task when you really look at it in a lot of situations, because a lot of these guys are super talented. But the thing is learning how to play together, you know, too, and having them not feel like, well, I'm going to be able, I have to take away from the talent that I have to play with someone else, because you really don't. It's just a matter of you understanding, how can I still be able to do what I do, and this guy still be able to do what he does, and us be able to do it together, you know, to the best of both our ability, you know, or everyone's ability, you know, too. And so the thing that comes down to managing is just understanding each player personally. You know, and that's what I always try to make sure that I do, is understand what makes this guy tick opposed to what makes that guy tick. It may be two different things, you know, too, because sometimes I may be able to get on this guy and he responds, but I may not be able to get on the next guy the same way, you know, too. I may have to pat him on the back for him to respond, you know, too. So it's just a matter of, you know, understanding each person, player individually, and that's what I've been able to do, I feel like, at a high level to make us successful.
Sounds good. We're here with Coach Rodney Perry, Mokan 17U head coach, Link Academy head coach. We appreciate you, Coach.
Thank you.